VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Our Almighty God, Creator of heaven and earth, Father and lover of our soul, you sit on your throne of mercy and rule with your love and faithfulness. You are full of grace. We acknowledge your presence in our lives. Nothing is hidden in your eyes, even our challenges and struggles in life. We come to you with faith. We ask not only for our daily spiritual bread, but to seek your forgiveness and undeserving favor to heal our land, our family members, our friends and neighbors, even our enemies with COVID-19 and other diseases. Holy Spirit, help us to deepen our faith and see the opportunity to believe, obey, and worship. As we face this pandemic, you are Lord and God. Encourage us and change our hearts, not to fear, but to be full of hope and find ourselves praying and meditating your word. We believe no works of the enemy prosper to your children. Abba, Father, we believe that your Son Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. He is the truth and our salvation. Hear our prayers, O Lord, and most of all, not our will, but thy will be done. We pray this in Jesus' name, the name above all names, who was and is to come. Amen.
Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kanta at programang Tatak Pinoy. Napapanood at napapakinggan kahit saan ka man. Streaming worldwide. In South Manila, this is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
VA1 Radio.
Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Dahil mahal namin kayo.
VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the host, the show, this station, the management, and the network. Welcome to Pride and Proud Asia, Asia's first online radio show that champions LGBT contribution and leadership in business and in our country and the region. Hosted by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, visibility, representation, and empowerment. This is Pride and Proud Asia. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride, everyone! Medyo nagulat ako. I guess, Joff, but, well, sana next week makasama na kita, Joff. So, welcome to another episode of Pride and Proud Asia, where we put a spotlight on LGBTQIA plus leadership and beyond. I am your host, your equality advocate, yung kasama nyo palagi tuwing and your power activista in Hills, Angel Romero. I'm part of the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, and this show is presented by PLCC, or the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with V81 Radio Manila. So, sobrang excited ako sa episode natin today because sobrang inspired ako to actually dress up because I think out of all the episodes na ginawa natin, this one is one of my favorites. Very close to my heart because I love fashion, and we'll be talking to the fashion superstars of our community. Later, makikilala natin sila. I think what we wanted to do really with this show is to highlight yung mga contribution ng different personalities, different businesses sa community natin. Dun sa mga kakapanood pa lang, you are watching again Pride and Proud Asia. It's one of the first of its kind online show that features talaga the contribution of LGBTQIA plus leadership, not just in business, no, but in different spaces in society. Again, I'm Angel Romero. My pronouns are she, her, at she, at tinatawag nila akong power activista in Hills. Yeah, so I think usually dun sa mga laging nanonood ng ating show, we always start with Rainbow News. It's actually different news and interesting tidbits about the community in different parts of the world. But for tonight's episode, dahil special ito, we'll be talking about one news or one personality na nasa ibang part ng mundo. We'll show you an interview with one of the Philippines most awarded and very, very respected fashion designer. Kumbaga OG na siya because sobrang sikat niya here in the Philippines, and she actually pursued her masteral in the US. And now she's living her best life in the US. So instead of the Rainbow News today, we'll show you our interview with VJ Floresca. Right after that, we'll pause for a quick break, and then we'll introduce our guest naman na live. For those who are watching, si VJ kasi is based in LA, so we had to actually adjust the schedule at napaunlakan naman niya tayo kahit sobrang aga talagang nagpa-interview siya sa atin. So if we can show the interview with VJ, I hope you learn a lot kasi I've really, really learned so much from this interview. So if we can, let's show the video. Hi everyone. So I'm Angel Romero and you're still watching Pride and Proud Asia, and we're very, very lucky to have someone with us na very special sa ating community. Isa siya sa mga nag-break talaga ng barriers and stereotypes in terms of, the fashion industry and, a lot of facets in her life. I'll introduce VJ, but, later kausapin natin siya ng matagal pa. So VJ Floresca, welcome to the show. So VJ Floresca is a Los Angeles-based trans fashion designer and Project Runway Philippines alumna, wherein she finished third. She also won several international design competitions and staged fashion shows for her brand and as well as her Madore bridal wear. She also competed and represented the Philippines earlier this year in Miss Trans Star International Pageant in Spain. Currently, she's living in Los Angeles and, having the time of her life. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, let's welcome VJ Floresca.
Hi! Palakpakan!
So welcome to the show. Ang unang-una kong tanong, pinaka-importante, kamusta ka ngayong alas 7 ng umaga sa Los Angeles?
Oh my God, hi Angel. First, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And regarding your question, I'm good. Natulog ako ng maaga last night kasi gusto ko fresh ako today. Alam mo yun? So, pinaganahan ko talaga ng bongga. But yeah, thanks for asking. How about you? How are you?
Maulan na maulan dito sa Manila and madami pa rin kaganapan, but we're still happy that we have trans sisters like you na nagiging successful diyan sa ibang bansa. So let's start na ang kwentuhan natin. Paano ba nagsimula ang love mo for fashion?
Oh my God, my love for fashion started when I was a kid. I remember very well na nung bata pa talaga ako, I used to make and sew clothes for my sister's Barbie dolls. Kasi nga syempre, lumaki ako in a Christian family. So even though, like growing up as a gay kid na very feminine talaga, hindi talaga ako tinotolerate ng parents ko. So hindi talaga nila ako binibilhan ng Barbie. So I have two sisters, okay? And my two sisters, of course, they have Barbie dolls. So I remember na parang nagtatago talaga ako sa taas sa kwarto kapag halimbawa wala na talaga sila. And then I will try to look for scraps of fabrics, cotton balls, gauze, basahan. Tapos dinidrape ko talaga sa mga damit ng Barbie ng sister ko. And, and then kapag maganda, nagalaro talaga ako na parang kunwari, mga models talaga sila. So that's really how I started my passion for fashion.
Ano yung naging biggest break mo? Yung parang na-realize mo na, I made it. Nandito na ako. I'm VJ Floresca.
A lot of things actually, but I think one of the most pinaka-proud and biggest thing ko talaga siguro sa fashion designer is when I was able to finance my master's in San Francisco. Kasi I was very lucky and very, very fortunate to be one of the successful youngest designers in the Philippines. I remember I started really early kasi talaga. Na parang right after college, I started my own business. And then after that, I went into bridal, which is, as we all know, bridal is really the bread and butter of the fashion industry, especially in the Philippines. So talagang nakaipon, and then nung meron talaga akong, when I was financially independent, yun yung sinabi ko talaga, parang, oh my God, what I'm gonna do with my savings, di ba? Should I buy a house? Should I, invest it in property? And then, sabi ko, parang I'm still too early for that. So parang sabi ko, why not go to San Francisco and finish my grad school? And then yun. And then I was able to graduate. So parang feeling ko to be able to pay your own tuition by yourself, I think is a great accomplishment. And talagang bucket list ko talaga siya na to study abroad, and nagawa ko talaga siya. So I'm very happy for that.
Very inspiring. Pero bakit San Francisco out of all, the cities or the countries?
That's a very good question, Angel. You know what? I'll be very, very honest. Okay. So my first choice was London. Okay, my first choice was London, Central St. Martin's, and then since I kumbaga ang ano ko kasi, ang program ko is master's degree na, MFA, Master in Fashion, Master in Fine Arts. So when I applied, in other words, hindi talaga ako natanggap. So I wasn't accepted kasi very, very ano talaga sila eh. Kumbaga yun talaga yung pinaka parang creme de la creme of fashion school, di ba? Central St. Martin's. Hindi ako natanggap. So para sabi ko, okay, where should I go now? So my second option talaga is either I go to Parsons or I go to FIDM in LA. Kasi parang yun yung pinaka-popular during that time. And so when I went to the United States to check the school, so I went to New York. Okay, so I go, okay, ito pala yung New York, first timer. Sabi ko, ang ganda, ganyan, Parsons. And then sabi ko, okay. So naka-ano siya, kumbaga one of my choices. And then after that, I went to San Francisco. So sabi ko, okay, so sa San Francisco, ito, Academy of Art University, which is very, very popular now. Alam mo yun, kumbaga they're gaining momentum now. They were featured in Vogue. So kumbaga parang it's even doing yeah. And then, sabi ko, okay, so ito, Academy of Art University. And then the third option was FIDM. But unfortunately for FIDM, they don't have master's degree. So I have two options now, Parsons in San Francisco. And I chose San Francisco kasi na-inlove ang lola mo. So kumbaga may nakilala kasi akong guy in San Francisco.
Wow.
I know, right? So umira lang puso. So, may nakilala kong guy during that time and he was based in San Francisco that time. So, kumbaga, it was easy for me not to decide na parang, okay, I'm not gonna go with Parsons anymore kasi nga, I have a guy in San Francisco. So, that's why I decided to go with San Francisco. Pero, to me, it was still one of the best decisions kasi ang dami ko talaga natutunan. Like, hindi siya ganun kasikat before, pero I realized na parang, oh my God, ang hirap talagang, oh my God. Minsan nga nagkakaroon pa ako ng nightmares at night. Honestly, na parang, yung parang at night, nananaginip ako na parang I was still studying and I need to finish it. Na parang, and then pagising ko, sabi ko, oh my God, graduate na ako. I mean, I'm done. Kasi ganoon talaga siya kahirap.
Pero at least parang, I mean, at the end of the day, talagang nakatapos ka and then now you're living your life, the best of your life in LA. Pero after mo mag-graduate, paano mo naisip na dito na ako magbe-build ng life ko, magsa-start na ako ng business again? Because in the Philippines, sikat na sikat ka. Tapos you threw everything away, you went and studied in the US. Paano nag-start yon? Mahirap mag-start from scratch.
Super duper hirap mag-start again from zero. And I think the most important thing to consider is you said it na parang I have a very established career already in the Philippines, right? So, kumbaga parang it's actually stupid to be able to throw everything that I work hard for and start brand new. Pero you know what, Angel? It all boils down to the idea na parang I ask myself what I want to become 10 years from now. So, when I was asking myself that question, I had an answer and I told myself that I wanted to live a life as a 100% woman in a country where I will be treated equal and when I will be treated the way I wanted it to be. And this is the life that I want. You know, as much as I love and I am proud being a trans Filipina, it's still different to live your life as a trans woman in the Philippines versus in the United States. Very, very different. And I'm just very lucky that I had that opportunity and privilege and I was able to kind of like, parang fulfill it and push it. It's not easy, Angel. Trust me. Alam mo, kumbaga parang it's really what you see on social media are not actually accurate. Sometimes, we try to show our followers that we are living the life that we want it to be. But the reality is there are still people, especially me, I've had my struggles, like I said, if the competition in the Philippines is very tight to become a fashion designer, I'm telling you, it's way, 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 way harder to compete with other talented designers in the United States. We're talking about designers all over the world who are moving here, to start their own career too. So it's really hard. But at the end of the day, I wake up every day happy. I wake up every day as telling myself that I still made the right decision. And I realize that this is really what I want to be. And this is really who I am. So yeah, I'm really happy that I made that decision.
When you said, yeah, it's really a struggle. Meron ka bang kinapitan na person or mentor in those times na nandyan ka lang? I'm assuming mag-isa ka lang. Oo, walang
Mag-isa lang
family,
ako.
friends. Oo.
I don't have my family. I started, building friendship from zero. And, like when I say I'm just really happy, I think my faith is very strong. And I know that no matter what happens, God will always provide. I grew up in a Christian family talaga. And I know that God is there. We have a God, Jesus, who provide us if we need something. Amen. And yeah, dumating yung point talaga, Angel, that my savings, like, naubos talaga. Alam mo yun, yung parang talagang tumitingin talaga ako sa checkbook ko talaga, negative, sis. Alam mo yun? And,
Oo.
yeah, and alam mo yun talagang, like, in terms of food, talagang wala na talaga akong pambili ng food. And so what I would always do is, kumaga parang, pupunta talaga ako sa Chinese restaurant. Kasi sa Chinese restaurant, big serving, di ba? So, kumaga, ang bili ko ng food once a day lang. And then, hatiin ko talaga siya into half. And then, yung first half is my lunch and then my second half is my dinner. So, isa na yun sa pinaka-naging struggle ko talaga. And also, I'm very lucky kasi may mga nakilala rin talaga akong friends na until now, super close friend ko pa rin talaga na talagang pinatira talaga nila ako sa bahay talaga nila kasi nga wala na akong pera, di ba? So, wala na akong budget for a rent, for my housing. So nakitira talaga ako sa bahay talaga nila, and they're able to help me. Tas minsan abot-abot. Alam mo yun, yung parang abot-abot na lang ako, na parang, sis, ito, pasensya na, tulong ko na to, even though they didn't really require me to do that. So yun, and then hanggang sa unti-unti, alam mo yun, na parang, ayun nga, na parang nakilala na parang, oh, andito na pala si VJ Fresca, nasa Amerika na pala si VJ Fresca. And of course, the Filipino community, they're very supportive talaga. And Filipino community talaga kasi mahilig talaga tayong magdamit, alam mo yun, mahilig talaga tayo magpaganda. So yun na, hanggang sa unti-unti, nakapag-establish na rin talaga ako ng business here.
Yeah, tsaka I guess parang nung una, akala ng mga tao nandiyan ka sa Amerika is masaya. Hindi nila alam yung pinagdaanan mo talagang hirap. And I guess perfect example yun na yung mga batang designers ngayon, dapat alam nila rin yung mga story ng mga katulad yung nauna sa kanila dahil baka, di ba, yung money nila that they're earning well now, hindi nila maisip yung ginawa mo that to further your studies in the US and, build your career there. As a part of the community, ano sa tingin mo rin ang unique sa pagiging trans fashion designer or even LGBTQIA+ designer?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what? I think we're very creative. I think the creativity is already there. And also, we have something to prove. I think that if you're part of the LGBTQ community, you know that there's something about you that you need to prove to yourself, to your family, to the people around you. So with that being said, you challenge yourself to do more, to accomplish your personal goals, to be able to become financially independent. And one more thing is ang LGBTQIA+ community kasi talaga, we're very, we're born to be fighters. Alam mo yon, we're the minorities. We felt discrimination almost every day. So parang we're tough cookies. Na parang kahit anong iba tungo sa atin, kaya talaga natin, di ba? So nakatulong din talaga. And also being a trans woman, I think being able to live my life as a guy and then now as a woman, kumbaga parang I have the best of both worlds, na parang I understand what women want and what women need. So yeah, so naging advantage talaga siya.
Yeah, and anong masasabi mo that now people are more, embracing of the community, especially trans women? You can see the likes of Mara and other trans women, trailblazers, hindi lang sa fashion, but in different facets of society.
Of course, I'm very, very proud of our trans sisters who are doing really, really well in the fashion industry kasi deserve naman talaga nila. Like, Mara Chua, Chita Rivera, Jess Cerezo. There's actually a lot of trans women designers in the Philippines who are doing really well, who are living the life, and I'm really happy and so proud of them kasi it kind of like eradicates the idea that when you're a trans woman, you're working in the parlor. And I have
Yes.
nothing against these people, you know, like they're very creative and that's their passion. Pero kasi lumaki talaga kasi tayo na meron tayong ganyang imagery na parang, okay, if I'm a trans, dito ako dapat ako sa industry na to. But the reality is we're kind of like slowly breaking that misconception na parang if you're a trans woman, you can be the best person that you want to become. You don't need to work in a parlor. If you're a trans woman, you can be a CEO of your own company. You can be a fashion designer. You can be an entrepreneur, diba? You can be a chef. Diba? You can be a
Yes.
social media influencer. You can be an actress. So I'm happy na talaga unti-unti na nating nararating talaga yung position na deserve natin.
Tsaka no, ang swerte nila kasi hindi nila napagdaanan yung discrimination na napagdaanan
I
natin na
know.
una sa kanila.
Oo.
Diba? So I think we paved the way talaga for them, and so happy that a lot of people are now more embracing and open. In terms naman of your style, ano yung aesthetic or yung fashion design style mo?
Actually, you know what? Like now that I'm here in LA kasi talaga it's all about the glamour. It's all about the red carpet. It's all about, you know, like beautiful, feminine, sexy, you know, like I remember that when I was still in the Philippines, I created this DNA. I created this aesthetic na parang you know what VJ Floresca is. Pero if you're in LA now, it's kind of hard to stick into one aesthetic kasi you're working with different people. And right now, I'm in the stage where, you know, I have a business and my goal is to make clients happy. So if your client wants something feminine, then you give them feminine. But if you're working with a client who wants something, you know, masculine, then you need to give that client something masculine, right? So yeah, but the true DNA of DJ Floresca is always very wearable, you know, kumaga parang something that you can really wear. And right now, I'm kind of like injecting the Filipino culture kasi parang feeling ko it's about time for me to represent our culture as a Filipino designer.
As you've mentioned, representing the Philippines, no? How is it difficult, or what are the challenges of being, you know, a fashion designer living in a country that's not your own?
Okay. Well, number one is, I'll be very honest with you. Number one is capital. You know, like I said, having a business in the Philippines, which I tried and I've had for so long, and now that I have a business in LA, it's very different when it comes to the business. When it comes to how you set up your own business. Like in the Philippines, di ba, na parang ang dami nating resources. Andyan si Manang, andyan si Kuya, andyan si Ate, di ba? So kumbaga parang anywhere you go, there are people who can help you. Here in LA, oh my God, Angel, it's very, very different. It's very, very hard, di ba? Talagang doble-doble talaga yung adverb ko. Kasi talagang mahirap talaga siya dahil you need to be independent. Like you need to do it your own, or else you need money if you want help from other people. Like dito, every step may bayad. Ang pagpapattern, may bayad. Paggupit ng tela, may bayad. Pagbuo ng damit, may bayad. Sa Pilipinas, cut and sew, isang tao lang, di ba? Manang, bibigay mo lang yung sketch, Manang, gawin mo to. And then pagising mo, the next day, gawa na yung damit, di ba? Dito, hindi. You need to rely on your own. So, mahirap talaga. Kaya, may advice talaga sa mga designers na gusto pumunta talaga dito is you really need to make sure that you know how to create clothing from scratch kasi makakatulong talaga siya ng bonggang-bongga unless meron ka talagang money to have a capital. You know? So yeah.
Para may team ka talaga, no, na tutulong. You mentioned na, 'di ba, ikaw talaga lahat gumagawa. Nung nagbasa ko ng articles about you, isa yun sa parang na-fascinate ako nung sumali ka this year sa pageant. Ikaw mismo ang gumawa ng lahat ng gowns mo.
No.
Di ba? Parang, oh my God, sobrang galing. How was the experience and what was the process? Bakit nag-try kang mag-pageant, and is it something that you want to do for, you know, many years or tuloy-tuloy ba ito?
it's one of the best decisions of my life. You know, I mean, standing there shouting VJ Floresca Philippines, you know,
Yeah.
it's I got teary-eyed. Like, it's a dream come true. Alam mo yon, kasi nga, I love pageantry. I mean, as you all know, like, pageantry in the Philippines is like super duper big. So growing up
Yes.
as a kid na nanonood ng Miss Universe, na minsan uma-absent pa talaga ako ng class.
Yes.
Ang Miss Universe umaga sa Pilipinas, di ba? Gabi sa Amerika. So kapag natapat sa weekday, absent talaga ako dahil I wanna watch Miss Universe. So I've always imagined myself competing on stage and wearing that prestigious sash of the Philippines, and I didn't know that it's gonna happen. You know, kumbaga parang sabi ko, ha, pambabae lang yan. You know, like it's a dream that I will never experience. So when I had the opportunity na parang, oh my God, there's actually prestigious pageants for trans women. So sabi ko, I wanna join, and then I've actually tried 3 times. Kumbaga nag-join din ako sa MIQ, Miss International Queen, which is, you know, the most prestigious.
Yeah.
And second is yung Miss Transstar International. They're the second most prestigious. So nag-try ako 3 times, talagang no. And then all of a sudden, when I got a yes, am I stupid to turn that down? That
Yeah.
opportunity, right? So, you know, I grabbed that opportunity. I know from the very beginning that, you know, it's gonna be hard to even win a crown because you're competing with different women all over the universe, right? But to me, more than competing the crown, it's more of like fulfillment of a childhood dream. And to me, that's, you know, no crown can ever replace that opportunity na talagang nakatayo ako on that stage. Sometimes when I'm sad, I even watch the clips that I save
Wow.
on my phone. And talagang it gives me so much joy na talagang, alam mo yon, guys, every dream is valid. All dreams, you know, whatever it is that you can think, you just need to work hard. And then one day, you'll just realize na parang nagawa ko talaga siya. So,
Galing. Lahat ng dreams natin valid. So, would you do it again? Or
No
are you
na.
planning to go? No.
no na, kumbaga parang ano talaga eh, kumbaga parang like I just want that opportunity to happen, and you know, like I said, nagawa ko na siya. So parang for me, next chapter of my life na. Like kumbaga parang hindi naman kasi talaga ako like, you know, like I'm not a contestera by heart, you know, like there are people out there na talagang that's really what they want to accomplish in
Yeah.
life, and you know, like I support them, and I admire them. But to me, you know, like it's not my core. It's not who I am. If there is one thing na talagang I'm still working on is to join a reality competition here in the United States. You know, like
Oo nga, maganda yun.
yeah, like Making the Cut or Project Runway or Netflix.
Yes.
Diba? Yun yung until now, like I always, sorry, I have dogs. I always
Okay lang.
audition almost every day. Not every day. Every day talaga. Like almost every season and every year. Hindi ko na lang i-elaborate how far I able to go every season, but mark my words, I will never ever stop until you see me there. So, kumbaga, yun talaga yung main goal ko talaga. Like, apply lang ng apply, di ba? Kasi, you know, hanggang mapagod sila. Hanggat, only that, like, hanggat hindi nila ako kinukuha, mas lalo ako nagiging skilled, di ba? Mas lalo ko napapractice yung ko. So, I know that the right time will happen. So,
Sige. Sobrang sobrang inspiring talaga yung story mo. But before I ask the last question, of course, alam ko busy ka masyado. How's your heart? I mean, are you in love? Are you inspired right now?
Yes. Yes. Yes, talaga. So yeah, like I'm the type of person that, you know, like I'm very public. Like I post almost everything about my life, about my food, about my job. So if there's one thing that kind of like keep it to myself, it's my love life, you know, because I feel that kumbaga parang it's a part of me that I want to share it with the closest people around me, with my family, with my friends, na parang. And also kasi, like, my partner is also not a very social media person. You know what I mean? So if I keep posting him, or if I keep, like, posting everything that we do, it's kind of like, that's not him eh. Kumbaga parang he's very private. Wala nga siyang mga social media and everything like that. So yeah, like, like I'm happy and, like talagang may nabudol ako. So, budol is real mga girls. Charot lang. Yeah, but yeah.
Tsaka ano ba yan? Lahat na nasa iyo, successful, happy heart, you've actually joined the pageant, one of your dreams. So what's next for you? Ano ang next na abangan namin for
Okay.
sa aming mga fans?
That's a good question, Angel. So what's next for VJ Floresca is I'm actually, like I just recently became a YouTube creator.
Wow.
Ano yung tawag doon? Yung parang yung parang
Vlogger. Yes.
monetize na ang YouTube video ng sisterette mo, di ba? So parang
Bongga.
one of the things that parang I wanna really venture is to be able to produce content that I think people will love. Like I will always be forever a fashion designer. I will always make clothes for clients kasi this is really my first passion. But of course, as you all know, we're already getting kasi in that in that direction talaga na parang social media will always be part of our life and I think it's gonna stay and I think it's gonna be even bigger. So parang sabi ko sa sarili ko na parang you have to learn how to adapt. So yun lang, kumbaga parang every week super busy kasi I really need to create content in social media. So yun, and also abangan nila ako na sana tulungan niyo ako magdasal, sana mag-grant yung isa pa sa mga dreams ko to be part of a reality show in the US. And yeah, that's it.
Claim it. Thank ano
you.
naman ang advice mo sa mga young LGBTQIA+ Filipinos in our country na nangangarap din maging part ng mundo mo or maging part of the fashion industry?
Okay, so I have 3 advice, okay? Okay, number 1 is safe sex. Okay, mga sis, kumaga parang practice safe sex talaga. Like use condom, those kind of things. Kasi it's you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the people around you, right? And then second is mag-ipon. Okay, I really want to give importance of having savings. Materialistic things, I'm guilty, I buy all those stuff. It's needed din eh, kasi mental health din yan, di ba? Na parang there's joy when you buy things that you love, right? But know when to stop and only live your life according to your means. Kumbaga parang we don't need to validate ourselves with all the materialistic things. So if you can invest, number 1 is at least a house, a condo, or whatever. Basta mag-ipon kasi hindi ka laging malakas. You're not forever strong. You're not forever sikat. Alam mo yun, talagang may darating at darating talaga na mas sikat sa'yo, mas maganda sa'yo. So you need to save money for the future. And lastly, my advice to you is talagang enjoy life. Kasi there are people na parang they work so hard to the point na nakakalimutan na nilang i-enjoy how beautiful life is. We've survived pandemic. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Nobody expected that in 2 years, you're gonna be stuck at home. 'Di ba? So ano nang gagawin mo sa pera mo? Ano nang gagawin mo sa limpak-limpak mong salapi kung hindi mo naman siya na-enjoy? So, enjoy life. Like once in a while, go to a restaurant that you love, order the food that you've been craving for, travel with your best friend, go to a specific country, travel, explore the world. Kasi kumbaga, alam mo yung quotation na sinasabi nila na parang, you don't live to work, but you work to live. Something like that.
Yes.
Alam mo kumbaga parang, don't just work too hard kasi hindi mo mababalik yung oras na parang ang dami-dami mo nang pera pero naka-wheelchair ka na, hindi mo naman na ma-enjoy yung pinaghirapan mo. So travel while you're young and enjoy the beauty of the universe. So yun lang, Angel. I hope marami sila natutunan sa mga sinabi ko kasi ang daldal ko. But yeah, thank you for having me here.
Thank you for giving us your time. I know you're a busy person. But before we let you go, promote whatever you want to promote, your social media, your YouTube channel. Para naman makabangan ka namin.
I know. Hello mga sis. So yeah, just follow me on YouTube. You can just type it, DJ Floresca. Follow me, subscribe, watch it, and also support not only me, but support everyone, especially the LGBTQ people. And also, I want to take this opportunity to talk to not the LGBT community people, but to everyone who's watching na parang we need to stop the idea of I love you but or I accept but. Alam mo yon, kumbaga parang if you love us, if you accept us, wala nang but. Alam mo yon, kumbaga parang you need to support us all the way. Kasi trust me, we're also human beings. We're not fighting for special rights. We just want to be treated equal and fair. So, ibigay nyo na sa amin. Kasi talagang, hindi nyo kami kaaway. Kakampi nyo kami. So, that's it.
Maraming salamat at sana makita ka pa namin more of you on your YouTube channel and all of your social media assets. At talagang aabangan namin na makita ka sa TV for one of the reality shows.
Thank you. Claim natin yan. At saka Angel, oh my God, very Pia words back ka lang talaga in royal blue. Ako naman trio na gray in red. Kain na pusta, pero alam mo yan, sis. Diba?
Yes! But maraming salamat for your inspiring story, your generosity. At hindi ka nakakalimot, nandyan ka, very successful. But you always make sure na naaalala mo kami dito back home. Thank you very much. And we really hope that you, continue to be successful and, continue to have a happy heart. Happy
Salamat.
Pride, everyone. Happy Pride. Thank
Happy
you.
Pride nga. Bye, guys.
We'll be back shortly. This is Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
It's a tough business out there. So many uncertainties, operational difficulties, deadlines. We provide the solutions and services that your company needs at the best price guaranteed with our global principles. And experienced partners, we bring solutions to your current and future business. Inolution, supporting your business as always. Video meetings are the future of collaboration. Meetings are like people. No two are ever the same. Logitech provides better meetings where everyone can be seen and heard, because great meetings just don't happen. Logitech, with our partner Inolution, ensures your video collaboration is at the next level. Inolution, supporting your business as always. To serve you sooner, email us at support@inolution.com.ph.
Are you having a hard time monitoring your workers' performance? Do you have times where you feel you need to help your employees? Voiso offers a real-time dashboard where you can monitor their calls in real time, like putting their calls in whisper mode, which lets you talk to your employee to give them assistance without their clients knowing it.
Hey Marty, tell him that the subject matter expert will take it from here.
Inolution, supporting your business as always.
Get into the treasure trove of undiscovered music through Napalm, your new all-Pinoy alternative music. Whether it's rock, metal, reggae, soul, or pop, we have it covered. Napalm features upcoming Pinoy artists and musicians, hosted by Lace Jimenez and Thunder God Bernard. So sit back and relax and enjoy Napalm, only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Now back to Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
And we're back. So happy Pride, everyone. You're still watching Pride and Proud Asia. It's one of the first of a kind show that features LGBT leadership in business and beyond. And I'm Angel. My pronouns are she, her, at siya, and I'm your power activista and heels, and I'm hosting the show tonight. Namimiss ko na yung partner ko si Joff, but in the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, may tatlo kaming trust. Number one is really promoting inclusiveness and embracing the community in the workplace. Number two is championing LGBTQIA plus leadership. And then the third one is, of course, sharing best practices, not just in the country, but across different regions. So, we're happy and we're glad because ang mga guests namin tonight are very, very successful in the field of, the fashion, in fashion. And also, we also thank si VJ for actually accommodating our interview kahit sobrang aga sa US. At binigyan niya tayo ng time to share her story. But syempre, madami pa rin mga superstars ng Catwalk na kailangan nating ma-discover at makilala. So, before I introduce our guests for tonight, I'd like to also thank again V81 Radio Manila for providing the channel for the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We're on our third season and it's so great that we get to discover stories of different personalities, of different businesses na nagtathrive sa ating community. So maraming salamat V81 Radio Manila. So, let's go to our guest. I'll introduce my first guest. So basahin ko lang from their website at idadagdag na lang nila yung story nila later when we talk to them. So, for all the free-spirited, Hamu is an independent local brand that is the brainchild of two upcoming designers, Abraham Guardian and Mamuro Oki, that was founded in 2017. Hamu works on a basis of rebellion, creativity, and also the freedom of expression, fused with the idea of love and confidence in oneself. Ang ganda na. Both heavily influenced on contemporary art on the simple idea that clothing has no gender. They have conceptualized and designed pieces that are unique, one of a kind, and most importantly, androgynous. These attributes shine through their works as they always strive to be visionary thinkers. From ready-to-wear to artisan clothing, their pieces will always have this distinct signature style. Hamu's aspiration is to be a voice of individuals who do not fit into the standard norms of society and create a lifestyle that highlights individuality. Capturing market trends and experimenting with them, Hamu pays attention to how these trends can be manipulated for both women's and men's pieces. For every garment, Hamu pays maximum attention to details, textures, and also the perfect oversized fit. The brand highlights the idea of individuality and uniqueness, and at the same time feeling confident and good in everything that you wear. So everyone, let's all welcome si Ham, guardian of Hamu.
Hello.
Happy Pride, Ham!
Happy Pride. Hello.
Wala lang si Mamu, but at least nandito naman si Ham. So thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. Our next guest, yes, thank you, Hamu. Our next guest naman, isa rin siyang kilalang-kilala sa ating not just in our community, but also, of course, in the fashion world. Modernist, curious, worldly, intelligent, dark romantic, sensual, powerful, sexual, a little bit radical, always thought-provoking, a fresh take on bespoke formals and bridals. Founded in 2013, Mara Chua is a Manila, Philippines-based formal and bridal wear designer brand that specializes on the unique and oftentimes uncharted territory of bespoke and one-of-a-kind fashion. She describes her brand as female sexual power. The powerful Mara Chua.
Hello, good evening.
Happy Pride, everyone. Happy Pride, Mara.
Happy Pride.
Yes, so actually excited talaga akong malaman yung stories nyo. I'm a fan of your brands and I was telling si Ham kanina na sobrang bilib ako sa mga works nyo. But let me start by saying, how are you guys? How are you, Mara? And then Ham, how are you? Kamusta kayo ngayon? Medyo pandemic pa rin, but kamusta kayo?
I'm doing fine. Yeah. It's an interesting time because parang, you know, like we're getting over the pandemic, and then so like the events are starting to pick up, business is starting to pick up, things are starting to become very busy again. Yeah.
Oo, bumabalik na tayo sa ano. How about you, Ham?
Like what Mara said,
Kamusta?
parang I think we've been even more busier than ever. Since everything is like almost back to normal na, everything is also picking up, and people want to go out, people want to dress up. So I feel like after 2 years of being stuck at home, people just want to live their life na. So um, yeah, we've been very busy fulfilling orders, and with the recent like activities in August that was happening, that kind of picked up traction as well, which made us even more like busy. So medyo overwhelming minsan, pero kinakaya naman. Yeah.
Oo, parang ano na tayo ngayon is slowly easing up to, the next normal. I guess my first question, formal question will be, how did you start your brand? How did Hamu first siguro, Ham, how did you start Hamu? Saan nanggaling siya? Anong konsepto? But anong thought process nyo when you came up with this brand?
Okay, so um, Hamu is a brand that is founded by me and si Mamuro. So hence Hamu. And why Hamu? The name itself is because we wanted a brand name that is very easy to pronounce and easy to remember, and something that is personal then. Tsaka at the same time, yan yung unsolicited love team name namin back in college. So our profs would call us Hamu. Tapos kami, will be like, sino? Ako or siya? Ganun kami. Tapos, we've always been working together since 2014. Pero towards the end of college, when we were doing our graduation fashion show, I thought of presenting ourselves as a brand instead of a designer. Kasi our works kept on getting compared with each other since we were working in the same space all the time. Pero iba pa rin. So I was telling Mamu, why not we introduce ourselves as a brand? Kasi number one, ang mahal mag graduation fashion show. So if we introduce ourselves as a brand, at least may airtime, and at the same time, we get to do more looks for the graduation show. So 2017, Hamu was officially launched publicly. Tapos from the get go, parang we picked up an audience really quickly. So
Yeah.
our original plan was to just work muna, and then later on uh open like really launch the brand again. Pero hindi eh. Parang from the graduation show, parang people were really curious what Hamu was and what we could deliver. So tinuloy namin direct like right after college. Yeah. And we are currently on our 6th year. 6 years na kami.
Wow. Nice, nice. How about you, Mara? Kasi si Mara parang established na yan din na the brand, especially in, bridal wear and yung mga gowns. So, how did your love for fashion start, and how did you build your brand?
Um, oh my God. I started at the time, the brand is such a foreign concept. So parang I just really wanted to make clothes. It started college na siguro. Parang the drawing part, the designing part was a hobby nung high school, but it wasn't really something that I was looking into as a career. Parang it was a side thing when I'm bored in class, parang ganon. But it never really occurred to me to do like fashion straight ahead. Parang I mean, it was a very interesting time, you know. Parang as a compromise, my parents would keep telling me to pursue a degree, find a job, earn money, and then once you earn, you put up your own thing. Kumbaga, parang that was the original trajectory. Parang, you know, that this is like early 2000s. So parang pursuing a career in fashion is unheard of in my circle. Parang ganon. Parang, you know, when you're parang with us kasi it's either you become an accountant, you become a doctor, you become an engineer,
Yeah.
whatever. So, yun. But then eventually, when I started to college, parang, sorry, medyo inuubo ako. Parang nagkaroon ako ng sort of identity crisis. I'm sorry, it's a very early identity crisis. Parang I don't think this is what we parang originally planned with my parents. Parang is something that I really wanted to do. So I started exploring nga. And then, yun nga, this was pre-social media. So parang I really have to do a deep dive. Like, where am I going to learn how to sew? Where am I going to learn how to do things, etc., etc. Like, I really have to figure it out differently. Like, yon, parang I met a bunch of people, like, parang the precursor of the fashion, the parang the parang alternative fashion movement today. Like, I Love You store, ganyan. Tapos parang fell in
Yeah.
love. Parang I sort of realized na maybe this is really what I wanted to do. So, yon, eventually, parang I dropped out of college to pursue a career in fashion. And then, at first, parang wala naman talagang clear direction. I just really wanted to make clothes. Tapos, yun, parang I started parang acquiring friends as my first clients. Pero, yun, and then I left Manila for a time. Parang I stayed in Bangkok for half a year to work sa factory. And then returned and then
Wow.
did designers. That was parang the start of like the trajectory of the Marichua brand. Pero yung the bridal started parang a year after that pa. Parang a friend of mine wanted to have a wedding gown made. Parang very, very parang ganong story na my friend and then someone, parang one of the coordinators parang contacted me, partnered with me. That's how I acquired the first clientele sa bridal. And then eventually I got into pageants like 2018. I think that was parang a very pivotal point in my career because parang that's how I sort of really built the brand, the Marichua brand or what it is. Kasi that's how parang when you mention Marichua, they already have an idea. Parang they already have a very crystal clear idea of what a Marichua
Yeah.
will look like. It was really through pageant na parang kumbaga, nag-mature yung look ko and the brand itself. So yun, it's a
If
long...
you were Yeah, if you were to choose lang, like for example, mapapiliin ka, is it bridal or mas pageant?
Oh
Do you
my
have a
God,
favorite?
so hard. Parang kasi it's a very, it's interesting. Parang they feed off one another. Kumbaga, bridal as a discipline is a very interesting discipline because you work with parang one color, basically, white, mostly. Pero so you're forced to like really explore textures naman. With pageant kasi it's different then. You have to explore naman color.
Yes.
You have to explore parang a different set of texture then. So kasi iba yung parang theater ng say bridal, iba yung theater ng say stage or pageant stage. So you have it's a very parang they're two very different things. So kumbaga parang I arrived at an intersection parang pageant bridal-ish but at the
Wow.
same parang it's still very yun nga kasi at my core I always question things around me, like why does it have to be like this, why does it have to be like that. So in a way my bridal is reflective of that, like yung parang it doesn't have to always be like this, so why not do something different, parang ganon. So if I
Very
have to
interesting.
I can't because yun nga it's parang I'm at that intersection.
I understand. Tsaka ang hirap talaga mamili, especially when you mentioned na nag-mature yung brand mo when you got into pageants.
Oo.
Si Ham naman, I think very interesting yung nabasa ko about you. You were very specific on freedom of expression, of making sure that it's androgynous your brand. Was it a conscious effort because you're part of the community? Was it a conscious effort to include that in your brand?
I think one of the motivations as to why we started the brand was simply because Mamu and I could not find anything that could fit us, any nice clothing that would fit us well, any interesting like looking thing that we could see on a skinny girl that is not available to us. So when we were working with clothes, there was never a time when me and Mamu would say, "Ay, pang babae yan." As in, I noticed one common thing me and Mamu had from the get go was we always understood that a piece of clothing is just a thing until someone wears it. That was when someone wears it, it has a new life to it. Kaya when we decided to do the brand, we wanted all our pieces to fit both not just men and women, but like people of all sizes in general. Kaya even for our ready to wear pieces, like our sizes is really from like small up until like double XL. Yeah, and um I don't know. I feel like in this day of an age, um, lots of people are more forward thinking when it comes to like buying clothes. It's no longer about like I shouldn't be buying from the girls section. I feel like it's not the case. And with the help of social media, I feel like that idea has been put forward more frequently now. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's more challenging to be a designer that's part of the community versus yung mga cisgender na mga straight friends natin or allies? Is it more difficult? Is it more challenging?
Um, For me, I wouldn't say it's challenging. The same, for me as a gay man, I'm really surrounded with other people that's in the rainbow itself. So it's a very colorful environment to be in. And I have so many different friends in the community who comes from different walks of life. So in one way or another, we pick up influences from them, and it also affects the way we see things, the way we do things, and the way even we do our work. So um it's not challenging for me, and if given the choice, I wouldn't want to be cisgender either. Like, I like the fact that I'm not straight. Kasi, like what VJ said kanina as well. I was watching her, her interview. Um, as growing up gay, you have a different perspective na talaga of everything around you.
Yeah.
Like like how VJ explained about her Barbie doll concept. That was how I discovered my love for clothes as well. And that's when I realized like, oi, a piece of clothing is not just clothing. It's a powerful tool. And if you master the art of manipulating it, it will help you get to where you want to go. So um I don't know. Being gay itself is an interesting experience, and applying my experience into my work is, it gives it more advantage. Yeah.
So it's more an advantage. Kay Mara naman, I think rurok na talaga, I guess bilang part din ng community, rurok na siguro sa akin yung um, mabigyan ng chance to be part of Drag Race Philippines. And I saw how you actually made, different like from the participants, from the host. How was the experience? I mean, it's amazing, I think, no? Pero ikaw, share mo naman sa amin what is
I
it
mean,
like, no?
I don't know. I credit watching Drag Race, like the American franchise, for like also helping me develop my skill set as a designer. Parang watching the show and seeing like how they create the proportion instead of like having to conform to the body, like conforming the garment to the body. You create the shape of the garment by adding or subtracting things from the body. Parang that's how I sort of mastered, like, say, our corsetry. It's by really watching Drag Race US. So, like, when they did announce, like, the local franchise, that they're doing a local franchise, I really wanted to participate one way or another. Like, at least dress a couple of queens. Like, I saw it as a way of giving back. Obviously,
Yes.
parang parang kasi yun nga, parang I learned so much from the show that I wanted to contribute to, like, the queens then. So when some of the queen staff need to do, like, their looks, parang sige, let's do it. It's going to be fun naman. It's a different experience. It's fun because yun nga, I do bridal so we do a lot of white
Yeah.
dresses. Like, your child, it's a different parang realm naman. Like, how to create, like, a more parang mga curved lines on bodies that are normally parang more angular, straighter, mga ganyan. Like, how do you create that illusion? It's a challenge. At the same time, it's a fun challenge. Parang you also work with colors, you also work with textures that are not normally associated with bridal, even pageant, actually. Like, it's obviously parang I would say elevated version of pageants because you really have to amp everything up. So it was fun. I mean, there were challenges because yun nga, they have to keep things under wraps for a very, very long time. So
Yeah.
we're under NDA. So we have to be very covered. So there were certain logistical parang challenges associated with that. But it was fun, all in all.
I think other than Drag Race, another thing that I admire the most about you and your work is you helping and being political in the previous elections. Sobrang natuwa ako that nakita kong yung isa sa inahangaan kong designers is really taking a stand and speaking up and making sure na you are part of that movement. So how was the experience naman being, vocal? We all know that as business women and men, mahirap din maging political. It affects our business. But what was your thought process and how did you actually decide on, I'll speak up, I'll be political?
I can't help it. It's like so I really it wasn't like a decision for me. Parang it really it just fell into place. I've always been very vocal, even at a time when I would even say that 2016 was worse politically speaking. The climate back in 2016 was a lot worse
Yeah.
because if there was anyone whose support was more unanimous and more like Gargantian, it's definitely Duterte, not the current
Yeah.
activist. So I mean, speaking up back in 2016 was really a lot worse. I mean, I experienced getting mobbed digitally a couple of times back
Oh
in
my God.
2000 just for questioning things. Why is exactly yun nga, it's my core. Yun, at the very core, I always question things. Why parang even if everyone agrees on a certain like opinion, when I see that it's parang off, I start questioning things and I don't question it like ano lang quietly. I always like, put it out there. Like why is it like this? Bakit ganito? Bakit ganyan? Parang when I started noticing that people were getting really rabid na because of there, then parang, oh, why are you like that? Parang and then people started attacking me just for
Yeah.
so it started even back then in 2016. So like, throwing my support politically wasn't a question in 2022. I mean, like I already know that I will lose clients probably, but it helps me sleep better at night knowing that I made a stand. And if
Yes.
if we notice naman, it's not surprisingly, it's not just me who like became very vocal
Yeah.
about their support. It's a lot of people too, and I find comfort knowing that uh, the landscape is different now. Like people really
Yes.
make their opinions heard, and they know that these things matter in this day and age. And I would personally, as a consumer, I would much rather align myself with someone that I agree with even now.
Agree. Agree. Totally agree. How about you, Ham? I know yung Drag Race, isa yon sa highlights ng career ng isang fashion designer din. But you landing a gig in Vogue, how was the experience? Anong na-feel nyo nung nalaman nyo, and how was it?
So, for starters, di namin alam na magiging cover yung piece namin. So, when we found out that Vogue Philippines was gonna be launched, like officially, this year, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, sa wakas, may mark na tayo sa international map na, hey, there are fashion people here in the Philippines. It's more than just what the international market used to know. So syempre I got excited, and when Vogue reached out to us to do a custom piece for one of the articles they were writing, I was not super surprised anymore because I believe at that point our works were getting more attention na on different publications. So I wasn't surprised, and in fact I was really excited that, oh yay, okay, we're gonna be working with Vogue Philippines, parang exciting. And I remembered the inspiration they gave us was parang it's about pearls, the stone pearl itself. So and then they gave us a mood board, colors, everything. Okay, sige. Tapos we did our own design. We explained to the team how is it going to be like and everything. So we gave them the dress. They shot it. They didn't say much. They just said, "Oh, Vogue really likes your piece." Okay, like yay, like we're excited. Tapos, cut to the Vogue launch party. So that was Sunday night. We attended the launch party, and then one of the writers, she said hi to us because she was wearing a custom Hamu piece. She told Mamu, "Oh, I heard you guys are the cover." And we were like, "Huh? Like, huh?" I mean, because I wouldn't want to believe it either. Because I was thinking at that time, I feel like the maiden cover has to be something that's very iconic, something that's very like it has a meaning back talaga. So I wouldn't even consider like my piece being like on the cover. Tapos yun, the following day, Monday, mga 9:30 when the website officially launched. Ah, we launched na, yay! So we're all scrolling through our phones. Then I saw, oh my God, for the maiden issue of Vogue Philippines, they did 3 covers: Visayas, Mindanao, and Luzon. I never expected to see our piece on the Luzon cover, as in, and then that's when I realized kaya pala yung ibang Vogue team, whenever I see them in events, they always would tell me, let's just say Vogue used to dress more than once. And I'm like, ano meron sa dress namin? And then wala lang, at that moment I realized that victory that Hamu had, it's not just about Hamu anymore. I realized at that very moment it's for all those other small independent brands who are thriving but don't have a platform to shine. And at that very moment I realized Vogue Philippines has a has the capability to actually like put light into these other brands as well. They are just like us. Kasi 6 years into the business, we're still young, but it's our experiences are just as valid as I don't know other designers who have been there for the longest time. And it's about time like the international market also they looked into other designers here as well because there's so many of us eh. Like may mga kasabay din ako na sobrang galing din nila, and they're the Filipino designers that they don't do work that screams Filipino, but the practices, the handworks, it's all Filipino. And wala eh, sobrang nakaka-excite talaga knowing that because there's Vogue Philippines here, it's going to be a very big game changer for all the local designers here in one way or another. And the best thing that I've heard about Vogue Philippines was si Bea Valdez, I think, when she was giving her speech, she said Vogue Philippines aims to work inwards before working outwards. So that kind of made me feel happy knowing that okay, so they're really going to source out for these local designers here talaga before featuring international brands. I mean, international brands is always gonna be there, but shining light to the people here, that's something else talaga. Kaya nakaka-excite and
Amazing.
yeah,
Yeah.
nakaka-excite talaga. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really exciting times for all of us. Mara, for you naman, do you have like mentors or designers that you look up to, that you feel na talagang guided you towards your journey as a designer?
I really didn't have a mentor eh. Parang everything was largely like a self-discovery.
Wow.
Although, yeah, parang in a way that kasi I operate better when I like figure things out myself. Ever since I was young, I've never really done well with people instructing me to do things. I have to figure things out by myself. I have to understand the in and outs of everything by myself. That's how I normally learn. That's how I've always learned, even at my youngest. Like my first toys were like puzzles, robots, things that I can build, things that I can maneuver, things that I can like tinker and figure out how they parang connect to one another, how I can build from there. That's always been my fascination. So I've never really had like a formal mentor. Like I went to fashion school, like I went to FIP. I took short courses with them, but like majority of the things that I employing now, the techniques, etc., were largely self-taught. Like lots of watching on YouTube. Like if I need to figure things out, I would like type stuff on YouTube. Like how do I do this? How do I do that? Parang ganon. But like designers that I look up to, my first like super idol was Rei Kawakubo of Comme des Garçons. Like
Mm.
it was 2005, 2006, mga ganon. Very early 2000s. Parang, again, pre-social media. So,
Yeah.
parang there were like magazines in, kasi I was in IP, so they were, obviously, they have fashion magazines and I was leafing through it. Parang, I was like, taken aback, even parang shook to the core, like seeing the works of like Rei Kawakubo, how different it was to
Yeah.
everything else I've seen. So parang it stuck to me, like parang how is this possible? Like what's happening? Why is she doing this? Parang ganun. So I sort of fell down that rabbit hole of like avant-garde designers back then.
Yeah.
Parang like even if you ask me today who are my favorite designers, parang they're still the same. Parang I have Rei Kawakubo, Anne Mister, which is like a Belgian designer. It's like really dark romance. Like the dark romance part of who I am is largely lifted from her work actually. Tapos like more recently, since I've been more focused on technique, more technique oriented, I've been looking into like the parang the pillars of like French couture, like sila Madame Grey, etc., etc., like the really old school ones, like how they made things. Like there's so many things to unpack then kasi like this was like pre-technology, like how they did things back then, like how were they able to achieve that level of perfection without the aid of whatever technology that we have today. uh, Locally naman, when I was starting, whether Sino Soto, timeless classic, Ibar
OG, OG.
OG, Ibar Aceron, like the OG avant-garde designers like
Yeah.
Joey Samson if you want to go for the more tailored look,
Yes.
Ibar Aceron for like the more feminine but still avant-garde look. Um, and then who else? Like some other younger ones naman when I was starting who were sort of like the next big names were Gian Romano
Mm.
and Jerome Allen Lorico. They were like parang I gravitated towards their looks the most. Parang theirs was like parang the precursor of the Filipino international
Yeah.
fashion label. Yeah. Parang ganon. And then like yung mga young ones naman now that's like gaining traction, like sila Jude Macasina ko sa friend of mine, I really like what he's doing. There's Carl John Cruz, yun nga, and then
Carja.
like I like what he's doing as well. Like it's very interesting. Like parang like he put like the Filipino identity front and center sa international stage. Like yun nga, parang a lot of international people sort of like noticed kasi it's so different nga. Because yun, parang he's one of the most successful ones sa pag like putting like the Filipino identity internationally without it being like a parang cultural show. Parang ganun. I really like about what Carl John was just doing then.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Like,
same.
walang gowns masyado.
Oo nga, nagulat ako, walang gowns masyado. Parang sabi ko, parang pare-pare yung gusto mo dun, yung look ng mga designers na yon. And it's kind of different from the things that you're doing right now, no?
I think, yeah, I like different things. Parang, I don't know, parang with gowns, yun, people would be surprised that I'm not really into like the traditional gown designers.
Yeah.
Parang I'm more aligned with them, but I just happen to do like gowns a lot because it's work, I guess. It's money, joke. Pero yun.
Well, diba? But I'm very curious.
I'm trying to, yun nga, parang it's sort of a rebellion na rin. Kasi that really, when you say designer here in the Philippines, really parang equated to the gown designer. But how do you make it different there? Like, how do you make it interesting? How do you make it parang you march to the beat of your own drum? Like, I'm surprised nga that I'm still like doing gowns after 10 years of like doing my own thing. Because I didn't think that people would really respond to what I'm doing. Because you really can't make like the traditional bridal, like the lace and the beads and stuff like that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Don't want to.
And I'm just curious, yung gender identity mo ba, being a trans woman, help you shape your brand? Because you said in your website nga, female sexual power. So it's all about, being
Very
powerful.
much, actually. Yes, very much. Yun nga, at the very core kasi, parang being trans is very central to what I do as a designer because to be trans here in the Philippines is to always question the narrative of what it means to be female and to be Filipino.
Yes.
So it's always an internal monologue when I make things like why yun nga, it's always the whys. Like people kasi when you're cis, when you grow up cis, you sort of accept certain things as truths, as realities, when in fact it can be changed. So that's how I normally attack my designs when I design things. Like parang why is this the truth, the accepted truth? Why can't we change this? Why can't we parang invert the narrative? Parang with bridal, I tend to go on a sexier route because I wanted to parang seize back the power of femininity in that context because bridal has traditionally been, it's a form of conquest. It's a form of
Yeah.
purchasing the bride itself, historically
Yep.
speaking. And the concept of wearing white to look virginal is to
Exactly.
parang portray that like parang narrative. So parang for me, I don't want to participate in that. I want to really parang parang reshape the dominant bridal landscape. That it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be. I mean, it can be a ball gown, but it can be a different kind of ball gown, a sexier kind of ball gown.
Yeah.
Parang and to be trans nga, parang it all stems to my being trans because parang I mean I was parang concept of trans was very new to the Philippines. Parang at the time when I was like parang having my own identity crisis, we didn't even have like the term trans to define my experience. Parang trans Pinay was coined, I think. I remember the people who coined that because they're from Strap. I was part of
Yeah.
Strap. That. So it was even before that when I was like, I'm not I don't necessarily identify as gay because I don't think that perfect that defines me. So,
Yeah.
parang yun nga, the design process is also very like that. My personal design process is very like that. It's always an internal monologue talaga. Like it always tries to subvert the dominant narratives that the Filipino narratives that sometimes is more damaging than parang enriching.
Agree, totally agree. And very interesting talaga yung stories nyo kasi it goes back to our identities of who we are. Before we go further, let's take a quick break and we'll be back. But thank you very much. Happy Pride and we'll be back.
Sige.
Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Big Media is all about life's journey.
Yung mga yun, mga bata pa sila dati nung nakakasama ko sila. So ngayon, sikat na sila.
In digital, entertainment,
Maraming salamat po na nabigyan niyo kami ng opportunity.
information, story, inspiration, and experiences. Whenever, wherever you want, welcome. Join us as we push the boundaries of possibility here with Big Media.
Here now is the program for the millennials that will showcase young professionals' worth, aspirations, and successes in doing what they believe is right, progressive, and inclusive. Join them as they discover the path to self and societal fulfillment while making a difference. Hosted by empowered and cool millennial Erica Mizon, together with her fellow millennials, they will be making a difference. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Video conferencing has never been crucial to your business than ever before, whether it's work from home or remote work collaboration. Productive team meetings are crucial to your business success. So whether it's for personal use or from small to medium to large conference meeting rooms, Logitech has the right solution right for you. With our partner Evolution's track record of responsive service, you can be assured of reliable and effective video collaboration all the time. Evolution, supporting your business as always. To serve you sooner, email us at support@evolution.com.ph.
Imagine a call center service where everything works just like it should. Introducing Voiso, hosted call center solution. Agile call center suite. Advanced real-time dashboard to track agent behavior. Instantly switch between call stages with event-based navigation. The right international telecom experience your business needs. Do more with your call.
Evolution, supporting your business as always. Are you looking for a solution to address injuries using an advanced, non-messy method? EverCryo is here for you. A good way to address injuries and inflamed muscles. EverCryo. Introducing the medical treatment for a range of physical alignments. EverCryo Compression Therapy System. A system that is easy to use. Quick and easy to set up for fast relief from pain and quicker recovery from injury or surgery. Perfect for anyone who experiences frequent pain or inflammation in a certain area of the body. Wrap on and get some cold compression therapy. EverCryo, an innovative therapeutic system to heal comfortably, less the mess.
Now back to Pride and Proud Asia, only here on V81 Radio, Manila.
Happy Pride, everyone. So you're still watching Pride and Proud Asia. now we're going to, call out brands and different businesses that June or Pride Month shouldn't just happen in June. So you should commit to, Pride every day. So we're asking everyone, lahat ng brands po, lahat po ng businesses, lahat po ng individuals, hindi lang po tuwing June dapat ipalit ang ating mga profile pics ng rainbows, or hindi lang tayo dapat every June lang nagha-happy Pride to everyone. We should make sure that we commit to Pride every day, because Pride should happen from January 1 hanggang December 31. So, yes, we are calling out everybody to make sure that you commit to Pride every day. And would like to thank our sponsors. So, one of the things that we're very, very thankful for is yung access to technology, and video collaboration is really more than just a trend. It's become the most important part of every business today, whether you're doing online, meeting one-on-ones, or, meeting your entire team and customers. Everyone's voices and ideas need to be heard and seen. With Logitech's video collaboration solution, you're getting the very best for your business. Please reach out to them to support at involution.com.ph for all your business needs. And also, dahil syempre, lagi tayong busy sa work at busy sa mga activities natin, we know that body pain and inflamed muscle will always be part of our lives. It's like you're working to do something to make your body hurts. With EverCry Compression Therapy System, you will experience the easy and non-messy system to treat your physical ailments. Now, for Pride and Proud Asia, if you want to actually check us out, we're available on different social media assets. So we are available on Facebook and YouTube. We also, if you want to reach also the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, that's our website. You can see us and message us there. Different social media assets as mentioned. If you want to highlight or spotlight a business or an individual, just reach out to us. For V8 Run Radio Manila, we are available on Amazon On Demand. Download the V8 181 app. You also have our Facebook and YouTube channels, V8 Radio 1 Manila, and you may contact us through our email address, prideandproudasia@gmail.com. This radio show is presented by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce in partnership with V81 Radio Manila. May we ask Late to call in our guests, si Ham and si Mara. Welcome back and happy Pride to both of you, and thank you very much for giving us your beautiful stories of success. Ham, I'm just curious, when you made your mask, kasi isa ako sa bumili nun, anong process, bakit naisip mo talagang different yung mga mask nyo? What was your idea behind it?
We wanted to design face masks that were inspired from our popular details or silhouettes in general. Kaya we did the sunny side up mask, and then we did the doodle time mask, and then the monster mask. Personally, out of the three, yung pinaka-favorite ko talaga is yung monster mask.
Yes.
Diba? The one with the tongue.
Yes.
And, the reason why we designed the mask to be like that is because naisip namin, nakakalungkot na mag-face mask because of the pandemic. Why not just have something fun, on your face? And siya parang conversational starter siya. And the best part is, we both realized, since naka-face mask ka, even if nahihiya ka in public, no one will actually know who you are. Because half of your face is covered. So if you want to have fun in a statement face mask, go, just do it. Ayun. And we didn't realize some people would consider it as designers collectibles. Kasi when we launched the face mask, some people would buy 2 sets or 3 sets. Tapos they would just openly tell us, yung isang set pang pang archive ko lang, just in case you guys get very famous in the future. Maging mahal to. I'm like, may ganun pala.
Oh, you're famous. You're on Vogue. Ano ba?
I mean, and I guess, I don't know, parang we never really considered ourselves as to be that, that designer with like archive pieces that would cost like a lot in the future. But then having to hear people think of us in that way, it makes us feel really, wow, there are people that really like believe in our work and they believe that we can go far. So wala lang, nakaka-motivate during those darker times in the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think talaga nakatulong nga yung mga masks to uplift the spirits nga of people. Before I let you go, kayong dalawa, I would ask siguro the last question na tinanong ko rin si VJ kanina. What's your advice to young LGBTQIA+ designers na gusto ring maging as successful as you guys? Can we start with Ham and then si Mara?
For me, my number one advice is, number one, always be courageous and brave. Hindi madali yung journey, and there's gonna be so many obstacles, and I know for sure even for us we'll have newer obstacles to face. So always be brave. And number two, never forget why you're doing it. You're doing this in the first place.
Yes.
Kasi even if your road gets very rocky, even if your vision gets blurry, you still need to think of the reason why you started all this in the first place. Because at the end of the day, that goal will never change. You just work towards it, but in different ways lang. And siguro my last advice, um, always be curious. Kasi there was always this saying na curiosity kills the cat. Pero for me, hindi eh. It's more of like curiosity just makes you think even wider and explore and be more explore to explore. Yeah.
Ganda. How about you, Mara? What's your advice to, young LGBTQIA+ designers?
For me, always, you find your core. Parang we're in this current state of the world. You're flushed with so many things, information, media, etc., etc., etc. It's very easy to like go with the flow, and parang for me as a designer, I've always parang anchored myself with my core. Parang it always boils down it always goes back, why am I doing this? Who I am? Because it's very easy to like lose yourself with everything that's going on in the world today. Parang yun, it's all yun nga, parang echoing the parang always remember why you're doing this and what your aspirations are. And you never forget your core because it's going to be your anchor. It's going to be your North Star. Parang in this world, in a world that's becoming more and more uncertain, but equally exciting.
Yeah, that's true. Would you want to share your activities or may social media? Mara, you can promote your stuff. Go ahead.
Just in my Instagram, MaraXchua, and everything's linked. You can just click the link tree there, and everything's linked now from there. Activities. Right now, we're focused on client work. ABS-CBN ball is coming soon, so there's
Yes.
I'm still like part of recovering from slight cough, so I haven't really gotten back to like the people I need to reply to for that.
Kaya nga so my friends nga are asking na naku malapit na yung ABS-CBN ball. So magiging busy kayo pareho. How about you, Ham? Anything to promote?
You can just search my Instagram, so that's .mu_. So right now we're like same as Mara. We're also focused on client works as well. May mga orders from our sale that we did last month and Marite Fair. We did our first pop-up.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're fulfilling those orders as well. And we're planning to do a holiday promo thingy. Wala lang, just to have fun for the holidays. ABS-CBN ball. In fairness, finally, we are getting some inquiries for that. Yeah, first time namin mag-PS ng tao for, Yeah.
Exciting talaga. Thank you very much for giving us your Saturday night. Both of you, alam ko sobrang busy nyo and sobrang nakaka-inspire yung mga stories nyo. Siguro yung mga young LGBTQIA plus kids, when they hear your stories, sabihin na kaya nila, so kaya ko din. So thank you very much for gracing our show. May you have a lot of gigs and, orders soon. The Philippine LGBT Chamber is very thankful for this opportunity, and if we have some collaborations, we will definitely reach out to you both. So everyone, thank you again for watching our show. This has been your Power Activista India saying, take up space and always be kinder. Happy Pride, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ate Angel. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome to Pride and Proud Asia, Asia's first online radio show that champions LGBT contribution and leadership in business and in our country and the region. Hosted by the Philippine LGBT Chamber of Commerce, visibility, representation, and empowerment. This is Pride and Proud Asia. Saturdays, 6 p.m. Philippine time. Only here on V81 Radio, Manila. Happy Pride! Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, your all hits, all Pinoy digital radio station in South Manila. This is V81 Radio.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. Dahil mahal namin kayo. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.